What's going on, everybody? I am Wade Elliott, R&B pop singer, songwriter, and rapper, coming at you with a video for my singers. This video is going to be for my singers. I'm going to cover some tips and tricks on singing, whether you're in the studio or on stage, however you do it. So let's just jump right into it. So first of all, if you want to warm up, right? No brainer. Not a lot of people do it. Sometimes I don't even do it because sometimes I get lazy, and that's just it is what it is. So when you want to warm up, however way you do it, I can do a video on warming up later on. If you want to let me know in the comments below that you want a warm-up video, let me know. I'll be glad to give that to you. But first of all, you want to warm up. You want to warm up that whole day. Whether you're when you're waking up, you want to warm. You just want to sing in the car on the way. Excuse me. You want to warm up on the way to work. When you're in the shower. If you have to, if no one thinks you're crazy, you can sing at work a little bit, you know. And then of course, you want to do it before you're going to do your work, whether you're about to go record or you're about to get on stage. You want to do that an hour prior to you do it. It also depends on how long are you playing. Are you playing for 3 hours? Are you playing for 30 minutes? Are you just playing for an hour? That also depends on what you're doing, and of course I will give you more information on a warm-up video if you just let me know in the comments below here. So second thing you want to do is you want to stay hydrated. You want to stay drinking water. Water is the number one thing you want to be drinking. It can be cold, warm, it can be hot. If of course we're not going to drink hot water like hot tea water, but something you just want to stay lubricated. Tea is good. Tea is good. Throughout the day if you want. Tea, coffee is like meh. It's warm because if you do the creamer, you might get dairy is not really good for you, which I'm about to cover in a second. But we want to make sure we're lubricated. Cold water, you know, room temperature water, throughout the day. That day before you sing, day prior up to your show, or when you're about to go into the studio. Now, while you're singing, you want to be drinking lukewarm water, or you want to be drinking room temperature water. Why? Because if you drink cold water, it's going to lock up your vocal cords, and then you have to warm your voice back up again. Think about it. You've already got your voice warmed up. It's already ready, and then you throw an ice cube. You suck down an ice cube, and then it's a muscle. Like, so if you throw if your muscles are warmed up from working out, you throw an ice cube on it, you're going to get kind of tense. Your muscles going to get kind of tense. It's the same thing for your vocal cords. Because check it out, your vocal cords are as big as your thumbnail. That's how big your vocal cords are. So you want to make sure they're lubricated. So lukewarm water and room temperature water, it doesn't really sound that appetizing at first, but when you keep doing it over and over again, you start to get a craving for it. You rather prefer room temperature water as to cold water when just as a lifestyle change that you might even realize it until it's happening. So because the more you do it, consistency, it breeds habit. So something to remember throughout your days here. So let's see here, we're warming up, we need lubrication, we need to keep drinking water. Now when it comes to the studio, or when you're on stage and you're singing for a very long time, or maybe your voice isn't maybe your voice is kind of rusty, and y'all didn't have time to practice, or say you didn't have time to warm up, which, you know, you take your instrument with you every single day, everywhere you go. So there should be plenty of time for you to sing. You just got to open your mouth and start singing it, even if it's falsetto or your head voice. Just anything like that. It doesn't have to be a particular song. It doesn't have to be any particular melody. Just so you're waking up your vocal cords. Like you're saying, hey, we're doing something today. I need you up and running throughout the day, and you need to be ready. That's basically what you're doing when you sing out throughout the whole day. That's just what you're doing. You're letting your vocal cords know, like, hey, we're about to start working, so I need you up and ready. So cover that. Now, when your voice is getting sore, let's say if you're getting sick and you have a sore throat, I have a recommendation for you. This also works after you're singing, like if you're kind of hoarse, if you're for my metal singers, if you're screaming, or if you sing really, really hard, and you're going back and forth through everything, I have a saving grace for you, and this will also work for you before you start singing. You can use this before you sing as a little jump start to your vocal cords. If you like say if you're not really comfortable with warming up yet, you can use this little saving grace, if you will, for that and afterwards. And then what it's called, I'll have a link in the description below here. And what it's called Singer's Grace. You actually find it on Amazon, which I'll put in the link here at the bottom. I've used it, my old vocal teacher before he passed away, rest in peace, Ken Taylor, he actually recommended this to me. It's called, like I said, it's called Singer's Grace. It is one that's all natural vocal spray. You can use it for when you have a sore throat, even if you're not singing, if you just have a sore throat. I recommend the extra strength, and by all means, this does not taste good at all. It does not taste good. It tastes awful, and it makes your breath smell, but your voice is going to be a-okay. So check that out. I prefer the one that's not alcohol free. I've tried the one with and without. I prefer the one that is extra strength that has the alcohol in it, just because I have a better result with that. So yeah. Another tip I want to throw at y'all is when you're singing live with your microphone. One of the things that I've learned is that I used to want to push as hard as I can when I was singing into a microphone live or in the studio. And the thing is that you got to remember that that microphone that you're singing into is a tool. It is a tool that extends your voice out to where it needs to be projected to. So a lot of times if you're using a microphone, you don't have to blare your voice as loud or as hard as you as hard as you think you have to. Like if you think about that, a lot of times that you can, like say like high notes you're trying to hit, and you're trying to push it so hard. A lot of times you can just like try doing a little softer. It's kind of like a little Chico. You can do a little softer and it'll be the same. Because a lot of time live shows, you're gonna have a compressor already on that voice, or it's just gonna work out because you have an amplifier. It's as just how the microphone works. It's going to amplify and push that voice, your voice out. So that's something you can try on your next show, or even when you're recording, because there's going to be a compressor and it's going to boost that. That's one thing you can work at, is that you don't have to push your voice as hard, and then you can save your voice throughout the night if you're doing a long show, or if you're doing a long session in the studio recording. Like you don't have to push it so hard. Remember that, because again, your vocal cords are as big as your thumbnail. Like, so you don't need to hurt them so much. Now with screamers, that's a little different. The same thing. Some particular folks, they scream differently. I would recommend trying to tone it back a little bit, because honestly, you don't have to push your voice as hard if you're just screaming. You really don't, and it's really easy to kind of dial it back, and you're actually will learn to make your voice sound better and feel better as you do it, because that's just practice. When it comes to screaming or your vocal fry, however you do it, that just comes with practice. Is that when you're screaming so hard when you're beginning, you really don't have to. It's like a light, if you will. It wasn't even that loud. So maybe with different, let's say maybe lower frequencies, maybe you have to give a little more push. But a lot of times when you're doing a lower scream, you're not pushing it as hard, or whatever you do is you're not hurting it that much. When it comes to the highs, that's when your vocal cords are kind of like stretching, because that's what happens when you hit, even when you're singing high notes, your vocal cords are stretching to make that high sound. Think of it as a guitar string. It's like you're stretching it to tune it to that particular note. That's what's happening in your vocal cords. When you're doing a lower voice, your vocal cords are kind of not compressing, but they're coming more together. They're coming more together to give you more of that deeper sound. Think of it like a guitar. Alright, so that is my singing tips and tricks that I have to offer at the moment. If you want more, let me know down in the comments below. And of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and make sure you kiss that bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload videos such as this one. If you want to come over and connect with me, you can always hit me up in the IG. That'll also be in the link in the description, as well as my website, and of course my music as well. I'm Wade Elliott. Thank y'all for watching.